Namaste to all. This is one of the most difficult Katha Upanishad shloka. A very, very deep meaning this shloka has. This is 2 by 25, where Yamacharya is giving this knowledge to Nachiketa about Almighty God, about how to realize Almighty God, about who realizes Almighty God. In fact, in the previous shloka 2 by 23, Yamacharya says, Yame Vesha Vrinute Ten Labhyastesha Atma Vibhrunute Tanun Swam. That means he is saying to Nachiketa that if you wish to see Almighty God, you cannot see. When Almighty God wishes to see you, He will open up His secrets inside you. You cannot choose Almighty God has to choose you. But that does not mean that Almighty God will choose me by doing partiality. He does not show partiality. Almighty God is known as Sannu Ariyama Purujato Astu. He is ever impartial. So God does not choose me or anybody else because He does partiality to me. God chooses me if I am worthy of it. How you can become worthy of it is what he is mentioning in 2 by 25. He says, Yasya Brahmacha Kshatram Chubho Bhavata Odanaha. Odana means kichdi. In Hindi, Odana means kichdi. Odanam. Brahmodanam. We say Brahmodanam, Panchodanam, Brahma Odanam. The food for soul is Brahmodanam. The food for the body is Panchodanam. And what is Odanam? Odanam means normally bath. Something which is cooked with rice is called as Odanam. For example, we say Kichdi in Hindi. In Tamil, we can say Paruppu Sadam. That means rice is cooked with dal. That's called as Paruppu Sadam in Tamil. In Hindi, it is called as Kichdi. So you are inviting Almighty God to your house. Of course, God is formless. I'm just trying to give you an example. You are inviting Almighty God to your house. And you are asking Almighty God to eat the food prepared by you. Will Almighty God eat the food prepared by you? God is formless. He does not eat. But I'm just trying to give you an example. If Almighty God comes to your house, what is that He will consume from you? Or what is that He will expect you to be so that He consumes your food? Suppose God is coming to my house. God is formless. God is omnipresent. God never takes birth. God does not take avatar. God does not come to our house to eat our food. But I'm just telling an example. Okay, let's leave God. Let's say a rishi. You are inviting a rishi, and that rishi decides to come to your house, and the rishi decides to eat food in your house. That rishi is a highest tapasvi. He is a samadhisthi yogi. So, what is the condition with which that rishi will consume your food? Odanam, bhavata odanam. What is that odanam which you must prepare so that the rishi or the Almighty God is ready to consume in your house? That is the secret given in this shloka. So, here the rishi says, Yasya brahmacha kshatram cha ubhau. Ubhau means both. So, if you prepare the odanam, Yasya Brahmacha Kshatram. Yasya means Jis Paramatma ka Odan. What is the food for that Almighty God? What is the food for that Rishi? Is Brahma and Kshatra. Brahmacha Kshatram Mrityur Upasechanam. See, Upasechanam also is a word used for eating food. Upasechanam means you make a khichdi in your house, or you make any other beautiful food, very tasty food. You make fresh rice with dal, etc. Upasechana means what you add from the top. Means you put a spoon of pure desi ghee on the food. When the khichdi is cooked, the khichdi will become further tasty when you add a ghee on top of it. Or you have a basmati rice, you do tadka rice, you prepare the rice with tadka, and the rice is kept in front of you in a plate. How will you make it more tasty? By adding some toppings. Some people will add ghee as a topping, some people add some mirchi as a topping. So upasechana means something which is added as a topping to make the food further tasty. So you have invited Rishi Muni, Acharya and Almighty God. What is their expectation? That you are inviting them for a feast and they are ready to take your food. So that is the secret given here. See here, the indication of food is, it's just an to explain the concept. It's not that in reality God is coming to take your food, but here the rishi is trying to tell to Nachiketa that when you become like this, as I have told in this shloka, God is ready to take you. That means God is ready to reveal his secrets to you. He is ready to accept you when you satisfy this shloka. That's how he is saying that if you are inviting somebody for a feast, you must prepare the best food for them. And when you prepare the best food for them, and over and above the food you prepared, you put ghee on the food, it becomes further tasty. So the guest who is coming to your house will eat your food with happiness. He will feel pleasant by eating your food. So he's giving an example. Upanishads are extremely secretive knowledge. We must understand Upanishad with the basis of Vedas. Without Vedas knowledge, Upanishads are useless. Without Vedas knowledge, Upanishads cannot be understood. Without Vedas knowledge, Upanishads ABC cannot be understood. So we must link everything to the Vedic Dharma. So here, Yasya Brahmacha Kshatram. So Yamacharya is telling to Nachiketa, Brahma, Yasya Brahma. Brahma means, Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati has written in one of his book, Brahma means Bringati Vartate iti Brahma. That which is vast expanding, or that which is expanded everywhere, that which is grown everywhere is called as Brahma. That means Almighty God is called as Brahma because he is everywhere, he has expanded everywhere, he is omnipresent everywhere, and he is Sabse Mahan. Nobody can overtake that Almighty God. That's why his name is called as Brahma. So here the Rishi says you must also have this quality in your life. That means whatever work you do in your life, you do Veda Adhyayan, you are working in a company, you are working as a scientist, you are doing business, whatever business, it can be business of doing selling vegetables also. You can do anything in your life. Always try to have a growth mentality. Always try to have growth in your life. Brahmacha. So, but here Rishi is not speaking about only Bhautik growth, not only the materialistic growth. Here the Rishi speaks about both materialistic as well as Adhyatmic, spiritual growth. So when we start our day on a daily basis, like today is 2024, when I observe myself in 2025 or when I compare myself with 2023, have I grown in spirituality? Is my tapasya increasing day by day? This is what Almighty God will see. Almighty God will never see us if we are not progressing in life. Almighty God will never accept us if we are not progressing in our life. You must be progressive in your life. Don't see the result, but progressive in terms of your effort. So that's what Rishi says, Yasya Brahmacha Shatram. First is Brahma, first is growth. So try to grow in all aspects in life, especially when it comes to spirituality. Like, many people I have seen, when they grow in their career path, they reduce their time for Almighty God. This is not growth, this is deterioration. You are advancing in your career. For example, I started my career as an engineer. I became senior engineer, I became deputy manager, I became assistant manager, I became manager, I became deputy general manager, I became senior general manager, like that I am growing step by step. After 30 years of experience, I am senior general manager in a company. So in the 30 years, what has happened? When I was an engineer, I used to do Sandhya Upasana every day. But when I become a senior general manager, I don't have time for Sandhya. I do Sandhya Upasana maybe once a month because I don't have time. This is not growth. Almighty God does not accept this growth. This is not growth in the eyes of Almighty God. This is deterioration. So Brahma means to grow steadily, continuously on a daily basis. And when you are growing steadily, continuously on a daily basis, then the feast is acceptable by Almighty God. And further, see, there is no doubt in the shloka. The next word used by Acharya is kshatram. Kshatriya. Kshatriya means one who protects. Kshatriya means kshatat trayate iti kshatran. One who is protecting your prana. One who is an army personnel, the army personnel is standing outside the country's border to protect the country. A police person is standing 24/7 on his duty to protect his public. These are called a kshatriya. So here Rishi says you are growing, but don't grow by means of doing culprit things. For example, people can grow, but I can become successful in my life by stealing others' property, by stealing others' ideas. I have implemented one idea in my business, but that is not my idea. I have stolen from somebody else. This also is a growth, but Almighty God does not accept it. So that's why the word uses shatram. Shatra means raksha karana. You grow, but you must have the you must have the growth by protecting mentality. That means do not steal others' property to grow. Many times it happens, like we call our kids, daughter or son, for us to take sukh, we will give them pain. This is not Shatra. So here the Rishi says, when you want to grow, but try to secure that other people are also growing. Protect their growth. Do not steal their property. Do not steal their ideas. Do not, like I am doing 1 hour meditation. My friend is doing 1.5 hour meditation. I want to make sure that he does not do so much meditation, so I try to give him trouble. This is not Shatra. So Rishi says you have to protect your growth and you must protect others' growth also. Then only Almighty God will accept you. I'm just trying to give you some examples, hints. These are very practical things in life which we will face. So, and also one more meaning of Shatra is protecting our own growth. For example, if you see Ambani has grown so much. He has a business empire where the country's president and prime minister also listen to him. He has grown so much. But not only he has grown so much, he is also protecting his kingdom. He is also protecting his business. So Brahma Kshatram, I'm just giving an example of Ambani or Elon Musk, etc. But the same thing you must have applicability in our Adhyatmic. When we grow, we should not deteriorate. We should protect our growth. For example, I do every day Sandhya Upasana. As an engineer, I become senior general manager. I cannot stop my Sandhya Upasana because I am a senior general manager. I must protect my Adhyatmic growth. So when I progress on materialism, I also must progress on spiritualism and I must protect that. Like one more example is morning every day we are peaceful, we are doing Sandhya, we are doing Upasana, we are doing Homa, but after some time when you go to work, you become aggressive person, you start speaking bad words, you start treating others very badly, you are only focused on your own sustenance, your own happiness, you don't care about others. This is not Kshatriya Dharma. That means here Rishi says everybody must become a Kshatriya. They must protect. If in the morning you are having spiritual mind, throughout the day try to maintain it, try to protect it. Don't get deteriorated. Like early in the morning you do business, you earn 5 rupees. Throughout the day you do business and you lose 100 rupees. This is not intelligence. In the morning you earn 5 rupees, throughout the day you earn another 5 or 10 rupees. Try to maintain the growth and try to secure that your growth is sustainable, both spiritual as well as materialism. That's what he says. When you are a person like this, then that Almighty God will do svikar. He will svikar your bhojan. That means he will accept you as a person. As a Jivatma, he will accept you that you are a true person, you are following dharma, you are progressing in materialism, you are progressing in spiritualism, you are protecting your progress, you are protecting others' progress, you are not selfish person, you are a complete dharmic person. Then Almighty God will eat your odanam. But these two are not enough. Rishi uses the another word, mrityur upasechanam. As I told, the food is prepared, you must put ghee. So what is that ghee? That is mrityu. That means I have grown so much, but I am not ready to lose anything. I have grown so much, I am so much protective that I became completely attached with whatever I have earned. So God does not like it. So Mrityu means you are ready to sacrifice everything for that Almighty God. Even though I have so much of money, even though I have so much of power, I am ready to give it back to Almighty God or to any circumstances without any problem. I don't have attachment. I have grown, I am protecting, but I don't have attachment. So mrityu means, are you a person who is ready to give up everything for Almighty God? That also, when we see in life, there are people who will follow dharma when there is no sankat in the life. But when there is a situation in the life, sankat, when there is a problem in the life, they do not want to follow dharma. They want to do adharma because they want to sustain. This is not acceptable by Almighty God. So even pran ka sankat aa jaye, tab bhi we must secure that we are following dharma. Then you are ready for mrityu. If you are ready for this kind of attitude, then upasechanam, God will enjoy your feast. God will secure that He accepts you. So Rishi is giving these kind of examples to Nachiketa to tell that not only that you grow, not only that you protect your growth, but also you must be ready to leave whatever you have earned. Do you have the attitude of Tena Tyaktena Bunjita? That means God has given me something. I am enjoying that in my life, but God is taking it back. I don't have any complaints on Almighty God. I say that you have given me and I am ready to give it back to you. You want it back, you gave me, you want it back, take it. I don't have a problem. This is Tena Tyaktena Bunjita. This is Mrityu. You see, the same quality God expects from you, the quality what He has. See, God creates this universe, Brahmacha. He creates the universe. He is called as Brahma. He creates and expands this vast universe, and He also protects the universe. He has a very, very stable law which is protecting this universe, which is protecting day in and day out. The sun is rising, morning is happening, evening is happening, air is flowing, everything, seasons are happening. He has a very strong protection, but He never gets attached to His creation. He will secure that everything is going into pralaya. He does not have attachment to His creation. He creates, He sustains, He protects, but He also destroys. He does not have attachment towards His creation. He has created my body, but He is not attached to my body. He will one day take away my body. So here the Rishi says, if God is not having attachment towards His creation, why the hell you have the attachment towards towards those properties which are not even yours? This is what Rishi says. Don't have attachment. Try to have mrityur attitude. Mrityur upasechanam. Then this becomes a very delicious feast for Almighty God. He will accept you without any problem. Like a khichdi, when you give that khichdi to a 1-year-old small kid also, the khichdi is easily digested by the small kid. Because it is so delicious, so easily prepared. And odanam means the water is absorbed inside the rice. The rice is so smooth. Even the 1-year kid is also able to eat the khichdi. So your life has to become like Brahmach Shatram Mrityu, that Almighty God is ready to consume you. That means God consumes you to reveal Himself to you. And further, lastly, the Rishi says, Ka itta veda yatra saha. It's not easy to know Almighty God. The Rishi himself says, Ka itta, कौन जानता है उस परमात्मा को? कोई नहीं जान सकता. उसको जानने का एक ही तरीका है, ब्रह्म क्षत्रम मृत्यु. You are ready to sacrifice everything for Almighty God. You are ready to grow on a daily basis towards that Almighty God. You are ready to protect your growth. If you are doing this, you can know that Almighty God. Otherwise, ka itta veda. No, veda means no. Ka means कौन जानता है? उस परमेश्वर को कोई नहीं जान सकता. उस परमेश्वर को वही जान सकता जिसको परमेश्वर खुद अपना लेता है. That means that Almighty God can be known by only that person whom God chooses to reveal. Ka itta veda yatra saha. This is what is the secret of the Adhyatmic Vad. See, this shloka is not easy to understand. There are further many dimensions, many secrets. Even in our life, mrityu means we are buying something new. Are you ready to leave your old cloth? Suppose you are buying a new cloth. Are you ready to leave your old? This is also mrityu. We must secure we must not go on accumulating things. We must also be ready to give away or get rid of the older things. This is also a dimension of mrityu. Try to follow what God follows. God is creator. sustainer and destroyer. God does not have more mamta on his creation. Similarly, we must not have more mamta on our family. We must not have attachment towards our property, money. Are you ready to give your money, property, everything for doing sadhana? Then God will accept you. God will eat your feast. Otherwise, never ever God will accept you. This is the secret of Vedas. This is the secret of the Upanishad. I mean, this sloka is not easy to follow in life. Even to understand the sloka is a different thing, difficult thing. But to follow this is actually impossible thing. We can follow only by everyday upasana. Every day when you pray to Almighty God, try to tell Him that, please give me this attitude of mrityu inside me. Please detach my mind from these materialistic objects. Let me enjoy it, but with a detachment. Try to pray this prayer every day to Almighty God, and this is the sarams of all the Ved mantras. That how do you realize that Almighty God? You cannot realize. God will choose you, but you must be ready with this kind of attitude. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.